Economic growth with and without inflation. With inflation, with higher economic growth, people may start to expect inflation, and this expectation of rising prices can become self-fulfilling. Therefore, rapid economic growth tends to cause upward pressure on prices and wages, leading to a higher inflation rate. Sa makatuwid, ang mabilis na paglago ng ekonomiya ay may kaugnayang sanhi sa pagtaas ng mga presyo at sahod na humahantong sa mas mataas na inflation rate. Inflation tends to increase the aggregate money income or the national income of the community as a whole on account of larger spending and greater production. Similarly, the volume of employment increases under the impact of increased production. Ang dami ng trabaho ay tumataas kasabay ng tumataas na produksyon. As the stock price rise, it gives companies the capital to invest and to hire more employees. As more jobs are created, income rises. Without inflation, it is possible that we can have economic growth without causing inflation. If growth is caused by increased productivity and investment, then the productive capacity of the economy can increase at the same rate as aggregate demand or the AD. This enables economic growth without inflation. There can be economic growth with zero inflation. This could occur if there was improvements in productivity, which caused lower cost and higher output at the same time. If prices were falling, but output increased, then, in theory, you could have economic growth without an increase in the money supply. The meaning of aggregate demand is the total demand for final goods and services. Therefore, an increase in aggregate demand will cause a higher level of real GDP or the gross domestic product, because the growth rate of real GDP is often used as an indicator of the general health of the economy. There is the law that says the higher the price, the lower the demand, and the lower the price, the higher the demand. Whether it is with inflation or without inflation, but still beneficial to the economic growth. Development of income and wealth. How does income affect wealth? Wealth essentially represents people's savings, and it's typically higher and spread out more unevenly than income. Wealth matters, but in some ways, income matters more. That's because it is usually a better indicator of people's day-to-day economic resources. Since the money income is the money received by a person, while wealth measures the value of all assets of worth owned by a person, community, company, or country. Therefore, income affects wealth because when we have no income, we also have no money to save to invest assets also.